Hello everyone and welcome back to Brooksburk Zoo. We're starting off with a look at our zoo map, which we haven't done for a long time because, as you know, I built the rhino habitat before the whole Oceania area, and so I couldn't do a new park map. But yeah, finally it's time. So, in the last episode we built the habitat for the white rhinos, which is a little bit confusing to me because, it's the last episode that you guys have seen build me, but I think I've done it like 2 months ago or something like that. So it's quite a long time ago since I built the habitat for the rhinos, and yeah, it's finally time to get back into Brooksburk Castle and to finish the castle. But first things first, what you're going to see in today's episode is the beginning of the end of Brooksburk Castle. Sounds a little bit dramatic. It is not dramatic at all, but we are going to call it a day at Brooksburk Castle. So we are starting to build the last habitat, which is going to be a big one. Not to say it's going to be a huge one, because we are building for the biggest animals that we have in Brooksburk Zoo yet. Biggest animals, not when it comes to height, but when it comes to weight, I think. Because when it comes to height, we have the giraffes already in here, but today we are going to build a habitat for the Asian elephants. So, I thought about finishing the whole castle with the habitat for the Asian elephants in just one episode. But then I thought that's not possible at all. We have so much work left to do here in Brooksburk Castle. I can't do this all in one episode because this episode would have been so long and crammed with stuff in it, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to rush things, so I thought that we are going to have at least 2 episodes of finishing this. So in today's episode we are going to build the indoor habitat for our Asian elephants, and I think in the next episode we are going to finish the outdoor habitat, and maybe we're going to have a glow up for the whole building inside as well, or it's going to take another episode because we are going to build the roof as well, and this is not going to be an easy task. Let me tell you guys, I have plans for that roof. Yeah, I was thinking about some kind of glass bubbles or something like that, if this makes sense. So I wanted to have a big glass bubble at the center of the building, so that we have this combination of the classical building and modernizing it. So the huge glass bubble like the German Reichstag, if you know that, in the center of it, and 2 smaller ones left and right of that, because we need light in this building. I have the feeling that it's going to be very dark inside, so I have the hope if we are having something like these huge glass bubbles, it's going to be much brighter in here. Let's keep your fingers crossed that this is going to be like that. But before we are going to do that, we are building the indoor habitat for our elephants. It's going to be 2 indoor habitats that will be separated by some kind of fence, because we are going to have one habitat for the male, and the bigger habitat is going to be for our females. It's not going to be 2 habitats per se, because all of the animals are going to be able to walk from one habitat to the other. So in the end it's just one that you actually could use to separate the animals, but we are not going to have 2 separate entrances in here. Yeah, but the smaller one is on the side where our Central American tapirs are, or the Baird's tapir are. and the bigger one is on the side where our white rhinos are. And talking about the tapirs, I definitely have to go back into their indoor habitat as well. As so much time has gone by since I started with this building, yeah, my building skills might have changed a little bit by building all those houses and stuff like that, so I'm not happy with the indoor habitat for our tapirs anymore. So we definitely have to go in there. I'm thinking about something like a staff area or something like that in the background, so that it's going to be a lot smaller than it is right now. And or maybe something like the things that we did in here for the elephants as well. You might see it in a few minutes when we are going to build the indoor pool for the elephants. Maybe we're doing something like that for the tapirs as well, so that it looks a little bit nicer and not this plain and simple and boring. Yeah, let's be real, it is a little bit boring, and I don't want it in here. Yeah, so for the indoor pool for our elephants, I thought about something very modern, so I'm going to have something like the waterfall in here, some planter around it where we have some kind of tropical plants in there, and cover everything up with a little bit of rock work. We're going to use natural rocks in here so that everything looks a little bit nicer and not this this boring, not too clinical or something like that. You know what I mean. Yeah, the most time-consuming part of building this, or the whole castle, was the facade. So building the walls of the actual castle. This was so time-consuming. So I cut a lot of that part out of this, because yeah, I didn't want you guys to look at me for 2 hours or more where I was just building the walls around here. Yeah, in the end, I just hope that everything will work out well with the roof that we are going to put on here, because yeah, you guys already know roof work is the most time consuming and the most difficult in this game. If you're using non-grid pieces, I have to say that, because if you're using grid pieces, everything is a little bit easier. Yeah, so let's hope everything will work out. Yeah, I was giving the building a little bit of a different shape on this side. Yeah, just because I had to. I had to because of the indoor area for the elephants. I didn't want to make it this long and not wide enough, so I had to come up with some ideas and yeah, as I said, give it a little bit of a different shape than we have on the other side, but I think in the end it all will work out fine and it still will look natural. Yeah, and here you could already see at some point in building this, I got off the grid. I don't know when it happened, but it did happen, and it was such a pain to build all this because I had to use every single piece similar. I couldn't copy those pieces around anymore and move it from left to right because they were so off the grid. It was just, yeah, frustrating. It was really frustrating. Yeah, but in the end, everything worked out, and we have some parts of the building that are not perfectly shaped. As you can see right here, we have this overlapping parts right here, but you barely can see it because of the color of it. And I think we just, at this point, we just have to go with it, because I didn't know where to start or where to fix things, because I didn't know where I got off the grid. And so, yeah. I was not willing to go back into that and delete everything and try it anew. Nope. That's not going to happen. Yeah, here's the last steps of creating the outside wall. Luckily I could copy those windows around and put it in there, so that I didn't have to build all of them new. It made it a lot easier. Yeah, and here I was thinking that I should have come back to how we started in this suit. Can you remember how we started? I built all those different wall pieces and said, so we have a set now where we can, which we can use to build buildings easier. And I think if I had done that with this castle, it would have been so much easier to build the whole thing, because we would have just had, yeah, like 4 or 5 different wall pieces, and we just had to put them together, and yeah, bam, the castle would be ready. But yeah, it's not like that. Yeah, here was preparing the arch for the gate for our elephants, where they would walk outside of the building and into their outdoor habitat. I just did it with trial and error, I think, and happily the first trial worked out fine. So I didn't finish the building or the part of the gate before I let the animals in there. I'm not going to do that anymore with big animals, because they always cause problems. So I built this arch, and yeah, then I bought a male elephant, because the male elephants are bigger than females, and was checking out if they were able to leave the building through the gate here, and happily the male was able, so I think we won't have any problems with the females later on, because as I said already, the females are way smaller than the males, so they shouldn't cause any problems leaving or entering the building. Yeah, on the left side you could already see that we have the kind of separation area for the female elephants, so if the keepers are going into the habitat, they could put away the females and clean the habitat. Even though I think it might be not that big of a problem with the female elephants, because the males are way more aggressive than the females are. Still, it is never a good idea to go into a habitat of an animal, especially of a wild animal, like like all the animals that you see in a zoo. None of them are really tame or something like that, so that you could go easily in there and handle them. You should always separate them and go into the habitat afterwards, because nearly all of these animals can harm you. Yeah, building the first fences in here. That is something that I also will have to do afterwards. I was using these pieces in here to have this smaller fence towards our visitors, even though our visitors won't be able to walk right close to that because we have the gap in here. Maybe I will do something in the next episode where we would have something like a second fencing in front of that as well. This fence is just there that our guests, if they leave the path, that they would not fall into the moat here, because yeah, that would not be great. Yeah, here you can see something that I already did for the rhinos and also for the tapirs. We have the pool with the dry moat in between and have those glass pieces in here so that our visitors can watch the animals take a swim in here. Even though the water unfortunately is not deep enough so that our elephants actually could swim in there, but I have checked it out for the male elephant as well, and they are going in there. So they are going in there and wash themselves and have fun with the enrichment items that are in the pool. So you definitely will see elephants that are in the pool. Yeah, especially the Asian elephants. I think I said it in another episode. Asian elephants are more into water and swimming than the African ones are. Africans do love to get into the water as well, but I think it is more common for the Asian ones to swim and dive into the water. Yeah, and I forgot it in the beginning of the video because it is such a long time being that I recorded a voiceover for my videos. I forgot to mention it in the beginning of the video, but this would be the perfect time for you guys now to hit the like button for this video and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. That would really help me out because actually it's quite difficult times right now in YouTube because the algorithm changed once again, and all of the creators are noticing that because the views on our videos are going so down. Especially for my videos, most of them are half the views that I got before the algorithm changed, and so yeah, this affects me very much, and especially smaller creators, calling myself smaller creator as well, still are suffering from that because we don't get the views and we don't get the attention that we need to grow our channels, and that all of us deserve for all of the time and the effort that we put in those videos for you guys. So don't forget to hit the like button. It means so much to us, and as I said, especially to the smaller creators that are suffering the most from this, and also the bigger creators as well that are living of everything that they are creating on YouTube and are depending on everything that they get from their videos. So yeah, do God's work and hit the like button. Okay, here you can see what I was mentioning earlier in the video. I was covering our waterfall with those natural rocks, and I think it looks pretty cool, and it is something that you can see in real life zoos as well, especially when they are modernizing their buildings. Elephants get water features and pools and waterfalls and stuff like that, and yeah, bringing a little bit of realism in there with those pieces. And just some more rocks, and then we can go on into the planting in here. Some more rocks on the other side as well. Yeah, and I really like how the whole thing looks right now. Yeah, some more plants in here. I think we're going to work more with the plants in here until we finish the whole building, and I also want to work a little bit with bamboo, not with the actual plant, but with the building pieces. I came across the bamboo in my newest project, which is a collaboration with Skilla on my channel, and also on his channel, where we are building a zoo in Africa, and I used those bamboo pieces for some barriers and for some buildings, and I really like to use those pieces, especially the colorable ones, where you use different colors. It looks pretty nice, and I think we might do it in here as well to give the whole building on the inside a little bit of an interesting and a little bit more modern and adventure-y touch. I think we can do this. And I think we should do this. So what I was doing here, as you can see in the background, before I built those barriers on the side of the elephants, I was trying to have something like a natural ground in there. A natural floor, so with the sand and with the dirt pieces, with the sand and with the dirt color, so that we have, you see that in zoos as well, in elephant houses. Elephants don't stand on concrete all the time anymore, happily, so that you have more of those natural floors, grounds, you know what I mean. And I wanted to have something like this in here as well, so I tried to come up with this. It looks a lot better in the end of the video when we have the bedding of the elephants in there as well, so it looks more natural and not too artificial. Building the gate here for the elephants. Yeah, and still I was trying, I was checking out if it was possible for our elephants to leave the separation area here, because this is also the place where the gate for our keepers is going to be. So they will enter here and put the animals in there. So it is quite important that the animals actually are able to leave, because when they get sick and and our doctor is coming and taking the animals to the hospital, they have to be able to put them back into the habitat and not having all the animals stuck in there in the separation area and not being able to get into the habitat. So I checked that and it works out pretty fine, so everything is okay with that. Yeah, and for the separation for the indoor habitat for the bulls and the cows, I just copied the fence that we have for the white rhinos and put it in there. Here you can see it already. So this will work, I think. Yeah, and that was when I was looking at the tapir habitat and was not happy with it. Yeah. Yeah, so we are at the last part of our video. I was building the doors for the gates for the elephants, and once again I was putting the male elephant back in here and checking out if he could leave, and everything was fine, so I could actually build the doors here in a pretty similar way, I think, as I built the doors for the white rhinos. So nothing very special. I used the door pieces that we had from the Twilight DLC, I think it was. So yeah. Separating those building pieces from the actual building so that I could copy it from one gate to the other, and also being able to move the doors a little bit so that I could actually open it. Yeah, and PS Vision Gaming was asking me for the last video where people would be able to bring the animals into the house or get them out of there. So that means when they get transported to the zoo, how would they be able to enter it? There might be something in the works for the next video when we are going to do the finishing of the indoor of the building and doing a little bit of a glow up in there as well. But I can't guarantee you that. As I said in the beginning of Brooksburk Zoo when I was starting this, I wanted to build something like a realistic zoo, semi-realistic. So not all in with realism, because going all in on realism is not the thing that I am going to do or I'm looking forward to do. Because I think when I go too much into realism, I'm losing the fun on this game. Because there's so many things I have to think about and I am not able to do that. So if you're watching the videos of PS Vision Gaming, if you're looking for realism, you are right there. Because, yeah, if it comes to realism, you can't go more into realism than he is doing. He's a very huge inspiration for me, and I think I said it many times before, but I just can't do all the things that he's doing. Because yeah, it would take so much time for me to do that, and yeah, I just can't. So I'm always going for semi-realism, so realistic pieces here and there, but yeah, not being actual that realistic that it would work in reality. But I'm very happy that he's coming up with ideas like that, so I have to think about that and find some kind of a solution. If it would work or not, we will see in the future. Yeah, here you can already see the bedding in here, and I think you might catch a glimpse for the other side where we have the sand area as well, so that you can actually see that it looks way better now. Putting some wall pieces in here to close that gap. Yeah, and I think we are going to have some more walls in here as well when we do the glow up. As I said in the beginning, so that we would have some kind of backstage areas and make the building not too open. Some pieces. Yeah, here you can see the natural area. Yeah, and I really like how it looks in here right now. Yeah. A little start on the outdoor, not too much, just a little bit of preparation so that we don't have to do that much. I think we have to do some kind of fencing and terrain work, planting, rock work and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm looking very much forward to that because it's going to be very nice out here. and also finishing the inside. I can't wait to have this building finished. I can't tell you guys. Yeah, but with that being said, we are already at the end of this episode. We're going to take a little tour. I hope you guys did enjoy it. As I said in the middle of the video, leave a like if you liked what you saw, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any further episodes. And I hope to see you guys next week when we are going to continue to build in Brooksburk Castle. Okay guys, bye then.